Good afternoon, one and all present here. It takes immense pleasure for me to invite to you for our first continuous professional development program on behalf of Tamil Nadu Career Counselors Association. And today's topic is on career cluster interest survey, and our resource person is none other than our founding member and first president of TNCCA, Dr. Suresh Kumar sir. I welcome you, sir. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Sir, the
Thank you,
floor
Dr.
is
Veena.
yours.
Thank you. What uh, as she said that it is our first initiative, I can say, for the continuous professional development for the career counselors. I'm really happy to be the resource person for the first workshop on career counselors continuous professional development program. And how many of you interested to learn something new today? If yes, please type your answer in the chat box. How many of you would like to really know something new today? Just type your answer if you are yes. Put it yes. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. I value your time because you are having different work. Even though you are here for learn something, I really appreciate your the time, your energy, your money, and everything. Thank you so much for being here. I given one assurance. So when we started this association, the Tamil Nadu Career Counselor Association, we had a few objectives in our mind to create an awareness about career planning and career decision making, career maturity among the rural population. That's the main priority in our association. And later we also included the other services also. We have to provide the career assessment, career documentation, career research, and all the components we incorporate in our association objectives. I was a faculty over at Rajiv Gandhi Institute, where I was faculty for the master's degree program of MSc, Masters of Career Counseling program. I learned 3 to 4.5 years on career counseling. So I would like to make it to awareness to all the people who are working in the field in a more scientific and more systematic way. So I can say that I have the right, I have the experience, I have the inputs on talking about the career assessment. So this is about thing. And myself, Dr. Suresh Kumar, as the current secretary of TNCCA told that, Dr. Veena Mani, I'm the first founding president. As you all know that our association not having the permanent president, permanent secretaries. We are having only 1 year. Any person can be that in that position. The next year they have to come out from that and they have to serve for the other members. And today I'm going to talk about career assessment. How many of you really know career assessment before coming to this workshop? If you know, please put it yes. If you don't know, put it in the chat box. Why or no? Yes or no, you can put it in the chat box. Yes. I think there are a few of them, they are know already about career assessment. I think it is very easy for me. If every one of you know about how to know what is the career assessment, it is easy for me to say that how we can use those things. And very few of them, they said that they don't know. Okay. I will just make a quick presentation and share my presentation with you regarding that what I'm going to talk today. Okay. Before getting into that slide again, I would like to make one important component here. Anyone who is going for career guidance or career counseling, the first step, the first important thing that will be taken by the career counselor is on career assessment. Career assessment. For example, if we can analog with that general health practices. From a general health practice, when we look at that, a person having any kind of problem. So, okay, what they will do, they will go to the doctor, the physician. They will look at they will check the person personally. Physically, they will check, and then they say that, okay, you go and take the scan report, and go and take the blood test, go and take the urine test. And these are the tests will give the clear picture about the person's, what is the real problem of the disease. So they can understand the root cause of the problem, and they will suggest appropriate treatment for the particular person. Likewise, in career counseling also, we the career counselors from our association, all the members will be provided training, and we were trained on that, how to use the different career assessment technique. If anybody come and we will give the career assessment, and that will give credibility, that will give an assurance and confidence to the career counselor. Yes, this is your strength. If you select a career on that area, you will be very successful in that career. So we can give an assurance that there is an evidence. Whoever come to our career guidance or career counseling, they are asking, how can you say that my son is not fit for the particular career? To give answer for that, we need a career assessment. In career assessment, we are having different components. The main components, we will let you understand those components in my presentation. As I said, our association has many important objectives. One of the objectives is to enhance the existing skill of the career counselors into the next level through the continuous professional development program. Okay, it is a kind of continuous professional development program. The main objective is to help the career counselors to hone the skills of career assessment. Okay, do's and don'ts of career assessment. Okay, that they will understand, and they will, once they know that, they will teach those skills to the budding or upcoming career counselors. Okay, at the end of that the session, you will get an E certificate to those who score more than 80% of marks. There are 5 questions will be asked from the presentation, and if you score exactly 80% and above, auto-generated E certificate will teach you a Gmail. And we'll get into that topic. There are 2 terms which is there in assessment, the test and proof. Okay. In generally, it may be in a research or in career guidance or career counseling. It is nothing but a device or instrument they are having in their hand to know about, to collect the information. Especially the career counselor, they want to collect the information from the client. It may be from the parents or it may be from the children. So that we can say that is a tool or test. Psychometric test, generally we use to know that the behavioral issues or emotional issues, and those components, it is developed in a systematic way that we can say that psychometric test. You know the distinction between psychometric test and the career counseling test. Career counseling test has all the properties, all the qualities of psychometric test. So when we know the psychometric test, then only we can understand that the importance of career assessment. Okay, we'll move on to what are the different types of tests are available. As per our knowledge, there are different types of tests are available. One is the oral test and written test. When you are going for examination, they will ask. So what do you know that? What is democracy? You will give the answer, and they will ask you to write in a paper. So this is a kind of test. Okay, and another kind of test is an open test and closed test. Open test is something, it gives freedom to the person who is taking up the test, and closed test is something, it is an expertise perspective, and he knows that what kind of information he wanted from the client, and he will ask the questions from the client. So that is the basic difference between open test and closed test. And another type of test is we can find out that individual test and group test. There is a history for that individual test and group test. Individual test, something only one person will be there at a time. We will administer the questionnaire and collect the data. In group test, there are number of students will be there and we'll collect. Do you know when these group test of concept is emerged in psychology? You know, when the World War comes and they need to recruit more than 1 people, maybe 100 and 1,000 people they need to recruit. And earlier they had a system that they can recruit only 1 person at a time for the individual test. And that time the group test concept emerged, and now widely it is used. There is another type of classification. Okay, that is about a verbal, non-verbal, and performance test. We look at here. The verbal test is for the literate people. The educated people, they can take up the test. Suppose a person who is coming to your counseling center, career counseling center, and the person is not educated, but he wants to select a career. We can go for non-verbal test or performance test. Performance test, the person can take the test and then they can perform it. And there is one more classification that is for personality assessment, which is widely used. One is an objective assessment. Objective means A to Z. There are 26 alphabets are there. 26 counselors are there. 26 psychometricians are there. They take the same kind of answer, they will get it. That's called objective. And subjective is something, it is an interview based. Okay, I am the person, I collect the information. Based on the collected information, I come to one conclusion. That is unsubjective. And third one is projective. And it is that what is there in our unconscious mind and hidden thing that we can taken out from that unconscious component, and we'll come to know that what is the personality. And based on the personality, we'll suggest a career. So personality is one of the important criteria, one of the important component in career assessment. You have to understand that. And another classification is, and these tests can be applied in different areas. One is academic purpose. For example, for academic enhancement, the main purpose of career assessment, career counselor, the career counselor role is not only limited to giving that what is the appropriate right career for them, or what is the appropriate the skill required for employment, or what is the appropriate career for no. The career counselor involved in different perspectives from the school itself. From the school, the career counselor role is how we can enhance the academic enhancement of the people. What are the components we can assess? So that thing will come here. It is not only for students, it is for teachers also. And second one is about the personal and health and mental health component. So the screening diagnosis that comes under here. And social component, when the area, broader area, what are the social skills are there? We will look at these components in that coming slide. And career assessment, it is meant for what is your personality, what is your interest, what is your value. Based on those components, we can suggest appropriate education, appropriate career for the person. Okay, we will move on to the next one. So another type of test and tool is done face-to-face and then online. Nowadays, we can say many parents, if they are well-to-do, they will go to the career counselor, they take one-to-one career test. And if they are not able to access the career counselor and they felt that the career counselor is far away from the places, and they can take the test in online mode, which is very popular right now. And most of the corporate companies are doing these things. And the career counselors, based on the response, based on the nature, based on the structure, it can be further classified into many types. The scales, inventories, personnel, checklists, schedules. So these are the different structures are available, and need not to bother about a person who are mastered in career assessment. They know that when we have to use these kind of things, when we have to go for schedule, when we have to go for scale, when we have to go for inventory, that awareness, they know about it. And when you learn in the coming days, you also come to know about when we have to use these scales and inventories. And here is a very important thing we have to understand, that when you go to the career counselor, and if they take a test, and look at the test in that description of the test, there are three terms that very commonly you can find out. One is about constructed, and another one is validated, and third one is standardized. Constructed is something, for example, if I want to know my personality, based on my personality, I have to suggest a career. And I come to know that there is no instruments were developed as of now. And if I develop an instrument based on my research purpose, that we can say constructed. Constructed means least preferred one. And when you look at that, most of the internet questions, when you go to the Google it, and whatever the questions are you are downloading, that comes under constructed. The less validity will be there. And next one is validity. Validity is something you have to ask appropriate question to the person. For example, I'm the male. If you ask me what's your gender, is it appropriate question for me? You know, when you look at me itself, you know that I'm a male. And if you are asking are you male or female, it is inappropriate. So validity is something, when we are asking the questions in the questionnaire, it must validate what is the purpose intended to validate, measure. The truthfulness we have to measure. And I can give one example. Another example, I'm having the pen in my hand. Okay, if I say that this is the pen I received from the Mahatma Gandhi, how many of you believe it? I personally met him, and he gave to me, Suresh, keep this pen with you. Is it valid? Is it valid? Valid or not? You'll say that no, because he was no more. After the independence, 3 years, he was no more. Okay, the gap, age gap. So that means the information what I'm saying is wrong. It's not a valid. So valid means we have to ensure that internally as well as externally, whether the information collected from the person is valid or not. Sometimes when you ask me, be you happy? Most of the people say that they will happy. See, for cross-check these things, we have to ask in a way, we have to find out the exact personality of the person. That validity will ensure that, okay, these are the persons will not collect right information. I'll give one more example for that. I think there are certain culture, they are very open to give the answers. For example, in Western countries and in India, we take that. In Western countries, you can ask a person, what is your inner wear color? You can ask, you can come and you can collect the data. If you ask the same question in Tamil Nadu, I think your name will not be there, and you will be there in that no more RIP they will put it. When you ask that, what is your innerwear color in India, in Tamil Nadu, you cannot able to come. So validity that incorporate culture also. What in which culture you have to ask what kind of questions, and those components are. That's why when you take up any kind of test, you look at that whether it is unvalidated or constructed. If it is unvalidated, you can use that is appropriate for your area. And third one is standardized. Standardized has a more important component. It is constructed, it is validated, and it has one more quality that is called reliability. For example, if you ask me what is your name, I'm saying that Suresh Kumar. If you ask me after 5 minutes, if I say that I'm Chandrasekhar, you will say that what is this person? He is changing the answer again and again, and he is not consistent. And any instrument, when we collect the data from the person, it must consistent to collect what he said earlier. The same kind of answer you have to get back. So standardized instrument that ensures three components. It is unconstructed, objectively constructed, it ensures objectivity, it ensures validity, it ensures reliability. So when you going to purchase, when you are going to use any kind of test for your career assessment, you have to look at that standardized, whether it is unstandardized or not. And there are many other factors are there when you are selecting. For example, you may, your friend may suggest that there is one more test is there. What is that? Strong's interest inventory. And that instrument is meant for higher secondary student, but you may administer that for middle school students. So target group, whether this instrument is dedicatedly developed for the particular age group or not. If not, you are not supposed to use that one. That's why when you look at that Beck's depression inventory in psychology, in psychometry, it has for children is there is a dedicated tool is there. And for adolescents, there is a different instrument, and for adults, it is a different. Likewise, when you take any career test, you have to check the age group, the target audience, who is an appropriate audience for this test. You have to check. And if it is fulfilled, then you have to use it. Next one is age category. Okay, this age category belongs to that. Language is very important. When you look at that, I can understand in a language, certain thing I cannot understand. So language, you have to check that. And respond and format, as I said, that the scale inventory. And some people, they are very good in giving the answers. And some people, they may not be able to say that. For example, I may agree, but what extent I agree? Strongly agree or some extent agree. That we can say by seeing the response format. And number of items nowadays, if you ask me for example, Dr. Veena is here. Veena, can you please spend me 2 hours for career assessment? See that why I'm wrong. She'll say that no, I'm having some other work. Because every one of us, we are busy with some other work. And this current time, we have to ask very limited questions. The number of items must be very less. With that limited item, you have to find out exactly what is his personality, what is his values, what is his interest, what is his aptitude. And that's very important. I can give one example. For knowing the personality assessment, MMPA, it has 562 items. If I ask you on 562 items and it takes, okay, I will sleep in between and then you will come back. So that kind of thing, nowadays it is not enough, it's not appropriate. You have to understand that what is the minimum statement is required, a person who is not known to you, and especially this generation alpha, and their person, they can not spend more than any kind of video they are spending for 30 to 40 seconds, not more than that. Within that, you can able to influence them. So here, less number of statement, less number of items, you have to select for that assessment. And number of dimensions, we have to look at that. The same questions we can use for one more item, one more dimensions. Social perspective and family perspective. We can connect. Family also comes under social component. So in a way, we have to find out a questionnaire that has a 2-dimension value, and we can use that answer for 2 dimensions. And finally, norms. Whether these norms are appropriate, whether it is on statistical norms or for theoretical norms. And this is needed a dedicated session. And we are going to have one more session on the norms alone, because it need nearly 30 to 40 minutes to discuss about that. And we will discuss in detail in the coming presentation. And these are the steps a person who is developing on any kind of test, it may be on career test or psychometric test or edumetric test, they have to follow these components. They have to identify the area. They have to review whether there is any instruments are there or not. And they have to select specific components. What is the component they are going to measure? They have to construct, they have to develop, and they have to sequencing what need to be given first. And they have to go for tryout and pilot study. Based on the tryout, they have to go for establishing that item analysis. Validity, they have to establish. and they have to go for item analysis, item selection. Finally, they have to come up with, okay, these are the items they have concluded. These are the steps involved in any kind of test development. And as I said, any kind of a good test, if we take career test or education test, whatever it may be, we have to look at these components. This picture will help you to understand that what is the meaning of reliability, validity, and objectivity. And look at that, the first, both reliable and valid. Specifically what we needed here, the last one, the last image. And this one is reliable but not valid. What is intended to focus, which is not focused here, but it is focused on somewhere else. Name is different place. And it is valid but not reliable, not consistent. Answers are scattered. And here you can see neither valid, not reliable. And the final one, this is the picture, we can find out validity as well as reliability are ensured when our focus are in the particular area. And the quality of test, to ensure the reliability, there are many methods are there. Test, retouch, split up, these are the things comes under statistical and research person. Those are developing, they need to focus on that. But as a career counselor, we have to know that these are the components we have to understand, the reliability and validity. And next one is, I think we have discussed these points, constructed, validated, and standardized. Here is the main thing, okay. When a person coming to our career guidance center, a career counseling center, what need to be focused? A test must focus on that one's personality, their values, their interests and skills. And you look at that Venn diagram, the area we have to focus on that. If you select a career in this area alone, that person may not be successful at all because his personality is not compatible. But when you look at this center place, this place, and here you can find out all the components are merging. And when you select a career in those components, and you will be successful. And we can ensure that less wastages and stagnations in the career. And we may say that there are many people who are successful in the career. That means by random trial and error, you all know that randomly when you go to 100% and nearly 17% they will be successful. By trial and error, they will be successful. But when the person who take up the career assessment and if they choose the career, and all the persons will be successful. That is the important thing. And here we will suggest a career, here the area, we will suggest as a career counselor, we have to suggest a career in this area. And now there is a question in front of us. Okay, it is going to be end another few minutes. Dear participant, if the session is end, you can join the same link, we will continue if it is ended. Okay. Why career assessment? The career assessment will help us to know about the person by their strengths and weaknesses. Okay, what job is best for them, what education is good for them, and that will identify their skill, interest, values, and other traits. So that is the main aim of any kind of career assessment. And career assessment will tell you the person who is taking the test, their strength, their weaknesses, and what is the occupation they can select, and what are the skills they need to develop, what are the skills they are already possessing, what are the training they need to take, and what are the experiences they have to go for, and how they have to write, and everything they will tell you. Okay, these are the area you have to focus. Okay, in your resume, in your CV, these are the area or peak you have to enhance those components. We will get input from that. And what are the components we will not get from the career assessment? Career assessment will not tell you about that you will be happy in your career or not. No, it will not tell about your happiness in other component. Whether it will tell you that whether with that skill you can able to complete the work or not. It is based on that many other components are there. It will not tell about what is the salary and other components, who will be your co-worker. It is not a astrology, we can predict those things. It will not ensure your job satisfaction also. It will tell you these are the career are suitable for your values, skills, and personality. And these career cluster inventory measures these 4 components. So 4 components it will measure: your personality, skill, value, and interest. The core area will measure. This actually the test what we are going to discuss today, the career cluster interest survey, which was has an copyright of Oklahoma. It is in USA. They are having that career and technical education. This instrument was developed by them only, and you will get the instrument in your WhatsApp group. It takes only 5 to 10 minutes. Any person who take up the test, it takes only 5 to 10 minutes. And the person who is taking up the test, they will get the career cluster. There are 16 career clusters are there, career interest. Okay. So these are the career interest, the top priority, first, second, and third, that detail they can able to get. And disclaimer is we have to understand that this instrument is not statistically reliable. Okay, it's not norm is not established for different populations. That we have to understand that. That's what I said, constructed, validated, and standardized. And that you can establish when you do these things with your more than 100 students are there in your school, in your institution, you can establish the reliability and validity. And this instrument is very helpful for making that appropriate career for the person's life. So I given the inputs regarding that, what is the career assessment, the career cluster interest in survey. I'm going to share the questionnaire in your WhatsApp number, and you can take the test by yourself. You need not to find any person, you can take the test by yourself. And once after taking the test, what you can do that, you can continue scoring, you can do that. The scoring procedure will be there. And if you have any doubt, you can just let me know. And these we have to understand that this instrument measures one's interest. There are two types of interest are there. One is state interest, another one is trait interest. This instrument measures your trait interest, not your state interest. For example, if you ask me what do you like now, I may like curd rice. If you give curd rice for every day, and I may say that no, I don't like. But when you ask my mom, what is the food I like it? And she will say that, okay, throughout my life period, she say that, okay, these food items he likes the most. So that is on trait. So when you are measuring interest alone for career planning, career counseling, you have to go for trait interest, not a state interest. Okay, with that information, I can stop here. I hope my inputs are useful for you. And you can get the instrument, take it, and if you have any queries, any doubts, you can ask me, right?
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful presentation on career assessment and what are the important points we need to look in for. You have very nicely emphasized on the reliability, validity, and also on the objective of why you are doing the career assessment. Because sometimes what happens is, instead of not knowing why we are doing the career assessment, we will be like giving our clients elaborated career assessments without having an object for ourselves, like why we are doing. So it is always important that for what purpose we are administering the test, and also whether the test is reliable and valid, because it is not only the client's time, your time, and your no your efficacy shouldn't be questioned later. So it is as career assessment professionals, it's our duty to get educated in all the assessments, be efficient in whatever assessments you are trying to give. The main objective of forming this TNCCA is to help our fellow practitioners, because sometimes what happens is we'll be at crossroads, we'll not be knowing whom to approach to guide us. We see sometimes the ego part is something which places, why should we go and ask someone? If you are not sure about what you are doing, you should ask for help. That is, like, you should approach people who could guide you in right direction, so that it will help you in your profession, as well as you will not jeopardizing or putting the client's future in, what to say, in danger, sort of. So that's the reason we have come up with this TNCC. And I'm hopeful that all of you have enjoyed this session. And if you have any queries or any doubts, not only with this career assessment or with the other things you wanted to ask, we have our, like I told you, our founding president, sir, is here to take the queries.
Thank you, Dr. Veena. Dear participant, you can check the chat box now for your e-certificate. And there are 5 questions related to my presentation will be, you can get it. And if you answer for right answers, and you will get an e-certificate for the program. And the others, don't worry, you can try again from another email ID. Okay. I hope I given that right inputs for the person who are curiously know about the career assessment and how they can use this career assessment for their career, and effectively they can use it for their career guidance components. Thank you so much for being with me. And if you are interested to being part of the member of our association, you are always welcome. And it is an as of now, we are 50 plus members are there in our association. We dreaming for 100 more than 1,000 members in our association. And as I said earlier, our primary aim is to create a career awareness to the rural population and government school children. That's the main priority, 50%. And another 50% is for the members' self and growth. And for example, they can become a freelance career counselors and they can get the money from that institution and they can learn from them. They can earn and learn. So that is our primary objective is our association. Join hand with us and help the society. Thank you so much for the first program you all here. I'm really happy and there is no word say that for your presence and your cooperation. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you. So
thank you all.
You can check the questionnaire in your email ID. Those are registered, you will get that the questionnaire, career cluster inventory questionnaire will be sent to your email ID as well as your WhatsApp number. And that this link is already set for testing. Take the test. And it will be within the 24 hours. It takes 24 hours to reach the certificate. If you give the 4 right answers, you will get the certificate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.